our interview with Mr. Gopal Krishna, the General Secretary of National Union of Transportation Equipment and Allied Industry Workers. So my name is Shakira Zaidi, and I'm here today together with my friend Irene and Aina. And we're honored to chat with Mr. Gopal Krishna about the important work of trade union in transportation and related industries. Let's hear from him about trade union and how they support workers.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Thank you, and first of all, thank you for selecting my union for your visit, and also asking questions which is related to workers, which is important. I believe all of your parents are also workers at one point in time. Yeah, my name is Gopal Krishnam Nadesan, the General Secretary of the Union, and I'm the General Secretary from 1990. Why trade unions are formed in the country? That is the first question. Of course, employers are important, but they give priority to their profit margin. That is always the priority, and I don't blame them, because the purpose they invest in any company to make money. So, in that process, in most cases or all the cases, they will not compensate workers accordingly. Like, for example, the salary, they might not pay a proper salary. They always want to pay the lowest, and they always keep the workers as vulnerable workers. I mean, at any time company feel that they want to remove, they will sack you. And they will not share any extra perks out of the company. So that is their main purpose why they form the company, because they want to get the maximum profit out of the company. Whereas workers who are selling their energy to the company, they must get a proper salary. They also must have a protection, for example, from the injuries or security of tenure. When I say security of tenure, means if I join today, the law in the country say I must work, I should retire not earlier than 60 years. So until then, the company should employ me. So these are the base requirement of any employee working in any situation. And only through trade union, they can have their rights by virtue of concluding a collective agreement with the company. So, end of the day, to protect the workers' rights, trade unions are formed in this country or any part of the world. Workers' rights.
And then, from what you just shared, can you provide us with the overview of your trade union? I understand that it's regarding transportation workers. And then, what are the objectives of your trade union?
See, the name is very long. National Union of Transport Equipment and Allied Industries Workers. Trade unions in this country are registered under Ministry of Human Resource, under Register of Trade Union. So, Register of Trade Union, or in Bahasa Jabatan Ahli Kesatuan, divided the trade union according to the sectors. For example, even we generally say car industry, but our union can only represent workers who are working in the industry, manufacturing of cars, motorcycles or bicycles. Whereas after we assemble the car, to sell the vehicle, there is another union.
So you are within the process.
Yes. So that union is commercial. We have a union, National Union of Commercial Workers. They are representing workers who are involved on sales. After selling the vehicle, in in some situation, like bus or lorry, somebody has to drive. For that, there is another union. For the drivers, we have Transport Workers Union, whose members are all drivers or conductors working in that industry. So we are in Malaysia. We are divided by sectors, and this union membership is coming from companies manufacturing as well as assembling motor vehicles. So that is how we establish according to the law of the country, where we only can represent these companies. And this union was registered on 30th July 1971. Okay, established by the previous leaders. Apparently, what happened prior to Merdeka, Singapore was part of Malaysia, and they have some car industry in Singapore at that time, like Ford. Already having a plant there, but that also not manufacturing. We call that CKD operation, complete knockdown operation, means parts they receive from overseas, they assemble and sell as a vehicle. So that time prior to independence, most of the cars in Malaysia were routing through Singapore. But after independence, in 1960s, the government registered companies who are intent to assemble motor cars in the country. So that is how 1967 onward, the automotive industry in Malaysia started to grow. Before that, it's all imported from overseas, mostly from UK and US. So from then onward, the first company to register with the government was Swedish Motor Industries, who used to assemble Volvo cars at that time. Associated Motor Industries next to Swedish Motor in Charlam, they assemble Ford vehicles, or basically Ford from England. Then we have next to Charlam, there is Bank Negara building. Next to Bank Negara building is Toyota. For those days we called Champion Motor, they assembled Toyota. Then in the Federal Highway there are two companies. One is Asia Automobile Industries, AAI, assembled Mazda. Next to AAI is Cycle and Carriage, which assembled Mercedes-Benz. And one more company in Johor, General Motor, which assembled some of the other models. So at that time when the industry started in mid 1960s, all these companies, the bosses were from foreigners, expecting, and they are very, very arrogant. Very, very arrogant. There are occasions where they mishandle human beings. They will slap workers, punch workers, ask them to go back while they are working. To that extent, they are very, very arrogant. So then the workers at that time realized one way to overcome this issue is by forming a union. Union will protect the workers' rights. So that is how this union was registered in 1971. And how the union can protect the workers' rights through collective bargaining agreement, which the union will sign with the company after recognition is granted. So I will go to that question later when you ask me. Now I stop here for your next question.
Sure. Yeah, so for the next question, I would like to ask, what are the main reasons for individuals to join your trade union? So,
Protect their rights, enhance their benefits. Protect their rights, enhance their benefit and their safety. These are three major elements why workers feel that they must become a member of it. When I say protect of the rights, as I said, companies simply cannot chase anybody to go back home. And there must be a term of reference for appointment. Let's say company appoint you today as a worker. Within 3 months, the company must confirm your appointment. Failing which, they may extend for another 3 months. But in any situation, employee should know whether it will be confirmed in the position or otherwise within 6 months. So all these will be in the collective agreement. That is regarding safety, security of union. Then benefits. Through the collective agreement, when you become a union member, union will have a collective agreement with the company. Through that, all the benefits will be there, including your working hours, shift operation, annual increment, bonus and everything will appear in the collective agreement. So that is your perks. Then also safety. You know that in Malaysia right now, every company must have safety committee. The safety committee must consist of company as well as workers' representative. So all the issues related to safety of the workers, the committee through union can raise to the attention of the company. So all these can only have through having collective agreement, and collective agreement can only be signed if you are having membership in any workplace. Okay?
Right, so for the next question is, what is the code of ethics that members of your trade union are expected to follow?
The most important thing, they must become a member. If you are not a member, you are not qualified to receive anything. And there is a company rules and regulation. We expect every worker to follow the company's rules and regulation as well as employment act. Of course, they might not know what is employment act. Our duty to explain to them what are the important provisions in the employment act. One example, medical leave is a provision. It is not workers' right. Annual leave is your right. You serve the company for 1 year, then you are entitled for your annual leave. It may varies from company to company. It cannot be less than 8 days for those who are working less than 2 years, 12 days for those who are working more than 2 years but less than 5 years, and 12 days, 8, 12, 16 days for those working more than. That is your entitlement. Whereas medical is only eligibility. If you are sick, provided the doctor says that you are sick, you cannot go to work, then you can utilize the sick leave. The other important factor there, if you are on long medical leave, let's say the company gives 3 days medical leave, you must inform the company within 48 hours that you are on medical leave. As such, you won't be coming to work for a number of days. You must inform or attempt to inform. See, the law was created in 1957. At that time, no handphone, no public phone. I think telegram ada. So that was the reason. They say within 48 hours, you must inform or attempt to inform. Kadang-kadang, when we send through telegram, the telegram might not reach before 48 hours. But at least you took the intention to inform. That is important. So all these are very pertinent requirement of any employment situation. So the union duty to inform the workers, hey, this is your right and this is what you can do and cannot do. So we inform them through our training programs. So this is to become a member, that is the criteria, and they must pay 8 ringgit per month as their union fee to the union. So we have our cost. This building belongs to the union. We bought this in 1980s. So before that, we were renting a bungalow in PJ. Then most of the automotive industry started here. For example, Associated Motor Industries, Volvo cars, now Volvo, those days Swedish Motors, ASSB who assembled Toyota. We even have one more bicycle company, Rally Cycle. I don't know, you all remember, Rally Cycle, there was a brand. One of the very strong, very quality brand, Rally. So they had a factory here. Far East Metal Work, they assembled motorcycles, bicycles, We have motorcycle plant in Shalam. Those days, most of the automotive industries were in Shalam. That was the reason why we bought this building here. In 1986, we bought for cash. We bought the building for cash. So, their duty to follow the rules of the company as well as paying 8 ringgit as their membership. That is the criteria for them to become a member.
Alright. So I think you already mentioned just now, but in case there are any further explanation about how important is your trade union to the employees in this industry?
Yeah, we are protecting their rights. Though the law is there, we still have policemen in the country to see everybody follow the law. The same thing goes, we have labor laws in the country, whether employer follow the labor laws or not. See, every time you all can see, in Malaysia right now the major issue is forced labor.
Yes.
So the law is there, but employers are not following. Employers are not supposed to hold their passport of the migrant workers, but they are holding the migrant workers' passport, which is wrong. So in the same manner, the union must make sure that the labor laws in the country is taken care. For example, the salary must be paid within 7 days after your cut-off period. So if your cut-off period is on 31st, the company must pay the salary by 7. If they don't pay the salary by the 7, it is wrong. If your cut-off is on 20th, then they must pay the salary by 27th. So it's all only, of course many employers follow that, but sometimes some employers might not follow. The law says you cannot work more than 48 hours in a week. Sometimes some of workers are working more than 48 hours. So when we have the trade union representing workers in that company, through collective agreement we will have all these provisions. Another important thing is after working for a year, I must get annual increment. Whether the company is giving annual increment or not, it's all only through collective bargaining agreement which the union will have it after they have the membership. So I believe I have answered your question.
Okay, sure. Thank you for that. Okay, so last question for me. Alright, so what are some common causes of industrial disputes in your industry?
Okay, among others, discipline always plays a role. Sometimes we know that some of our members will take unnecessary leave. On that occasion, company, to avoid all this, they will sack them. So then we have to defend the workers. That is number one. Number two, some companies, not all, might not pay their salary in time. Then we need to make sure that they pay their salary in time. What is the main question? I forgot your question. Sorry.
What are the common causes of industrial disputes?
Other than that, the basic is that we are forming union to protect the workers' right. The workers' right can be protected further, better than the labor laws in the country through collective agreement. The union's very important task is to negotiate with the employer terms and conditions of employment in that factory for our members who are working there. Of course, the minimum protection is given or extended to the workers by virtue of Employment Act. Employment Act provides minimum provision. For example, annual leave less than 2 years, 8 days, more than 2 years but less than 5 years, 12 days, more than 5 years, 16 days. But through negotiation by way of collective agreement, there are companies we have negotiated and managed to get about 25, 28, 30 days of annual leave. So this is one way how to improve the benefit. The Employment Act does not provide any provision for annual increment. But in all our collective agreement there is a provision. After you serve the company for a year, you must get annual increment. There is no provision in the Employment Act of bonus. Bonus is at the discretion of the company. It is not written anywhere in the agreement. But most of our collective agreement, you can see there is a contractual bonus of 2 months or 1 month, or whatever number of years. So these are the important thing which a worker need. It's not in the Employment Act. Through the collective agreement we provided. Retirement benefit. Of course, many companies are telling EPF, they are paying EPF statutory contribution of less than 5,000 is 13%, that is retirement. Well, we don't agree to that. EPF is a provision by law. Company must pay additional retirement benefit. So this one through negotiation we provide to our members.
So I now going to continue for the next question.
Thank you.
For the next question. Okay, how does your trade union uphold a code of ethics in its operation?
Yeah, we see, of course we are protecting the workers, our members, but it does not mean that, oh, union is there, I can do anything I like.
Yeah.
That is why I said earlier, a company has its rules and regulations, and we want all our members to follow the rules and regulations. When we see something in the rules and regulation is not correct, we will raise the matter. So, most important thing, even in the family, we have some rules which is not written rules,
Yes.
but we must follow. Like my father, when I was very young, I used to go back after 12. My wife was working shift. When she was going to work at night shift, Merdeka for me. Nobody in the house to check, so I can go back very late. So my father complained to my wife. My wife asked me, why are you coming late every time I do night shift? I say, I go out to see friends. But after that, somehow or other, I feel, yeah, I must come back. So I made it a point until today. Wherever I go, I must go back by 12. So the same goes to my members who are working in any company. If you are supposed to be at the workplace at 7:30, you must be there at 7:30. That is one example. In canteen, you can go at certain time. You can only go to the canteen that certain time. So these are the company's rules and regulations which we believe every employee working in that organization must follow. Anything which is beyond the union's view is very wrong. We will raise the matter with the company to remove those rules which are, we say that, against the workers. So that is very important, where we always inform our members the rules must be followed, and the union will see whether the rules are in line with your rights or not, human rights or workers' rights. Okay? For example, overtime. You cannot compel a worker to do overtime. At the same time, the worker also should not arbitrarily refuse overtime. See? So that must be some understanding. Okay, I might not be able to do every day, but certain days, yes, I will do. So that sort of mutual understanding must be there between the employer and the employee. This is our responsibility to inform our member, a company has the rules and regulation, we need to follow. But anything is not as per the workers' right, the union will raise the matter with the company.
For the next question, okay, what are some key employer welfare schemes or initiatives your union offers?
Directly, union does not offer much, apart from, of course, anything happen to the worker, we will handle the matter until. There are cases where matter can go until federal court. Not recently, about 5 years back, there was a matter. The union really spent more than 200,000 on one matter. One company sacked 5 workers. So throughout, we went to industrial court, we lost. We went to High Court, we lost. We went to Court of Appeal, we lost. Federal Court also we lost. But we still believe something is not correct. So we took up the matter to International Labour Organization in Geneva, ILO. We reported the matter, and committee of there is one committee for workers' right, and that committee investigated the matter and decided the court's decision is wrong. And finally asked the government to interfere and resolve the matter. So this one all involve money, and the union must prepare to spend money like cases like this. So we always see whether whatever the company does is within the law or otherwise. When we realize they are not, we always take up the matter. In most cases, termination of employment is the serious matter where it appears everywhere. Okay. I'll just give one example, but anything you can ask me. Maybe you need another kind of answer. You ask another time, then I will answer.
Okay.
Because
How does your union collaborate with employers to address workplace issue and improve conditions?
Okay. First of all, I always mention to employers, the survival of the company in Malaysia is important to the investor, the shareholder of the company, because they invest the money, they want to see their profit. It is important to them. But the survival of the company is more important to the workers. Simply because the investor invests in this company. If he's not happy, he can take out his share, go to another place, another country, invest the money there. But we workers, we started to work when I was young. 20 years I started to work. After I worked there for 10 years, 30 years. 30 years still can, after I worked for 20 years. At 40 years, if anything happened to the company, I want to get another employment, can. But I won't be getting the same salary. So, for the workers, the survival of this company, the continuity of this company here is more important to the workers. That is the principle this union follows. And that is the reason why we say that we participate with the company to improve productivity.